Alrighty, folks, my name is Ann. Sometimes I make mistakes, and, hopefully I've done enough buying and selling that the game won't get angry at me because I'm holding on to too many things. I'll have to go through some of this later, but yeah, I actually have, you can see here I have 100, let's see, I have 1,299,794 credits as a result
Good
of my
timing, Commander.
buying.
We got a transmission coming in from the Citadel. Top priority clearance.
From whom?
Is it the ambassador?
It's not his signature. I think it's from the Council. I'll patch it through to the comm room.
Okay.
Commander Shepard, we've received information that may be critical to your mission against Saren.
Oh?
I'll take all the help I can get.
We've received an urgent message from one of our infiltration regiments in the Traverse.
Infiltration unit?
You mean spies?
Spectres tend to attract attention, Commander, but they are only one arm of the Council. Special task groups are often a better option for monitoring developing situations.
We currently have several infiltration units scattered throughout the border regions of Citadel space. This particular unit was gathering intel on Saren.
Sounds very serious.
What did they find?
Unfortunately, the message we received was little more than static. The infiltration team must be in a situation where they can't set up proper interstellar communications. But the message was sent on a channel reserved for mission-critical communications. Whatever they were trying to tell us, we know it was important. Considering your interest in Saren, we thought you might want to investigate this. Find out what happened to our team. The signal originated from the planet Vermeer.
Alright, well, thank you for the info.
I'll look into it.
The Council prefers not to become involved in the specifics of Spectre activities. We only want you to be aware of all your options, including Vermeer. Good luck, Commander Shepard. We will keep you advised if we learn anything else.
Okay, so Vermeer is another option. I actually knew that was a thing. I knew we were going there, but I didn't want to spoil anything. We are, however, going to do that last. Let's see here. We have the Voyager cluster. You know what I said we should do? Let's go hit up the local cluster. Let's travel to Sol real quick. I have these brand new weapons. Alrighty. If it is solely... Hold on. Earth. For detailed information, please refer to the standard issue Alliance Galactic Codex. Earth orbit is riddled with debris generated by bootstrap space development. Use of kinetic barriers is recommended at altitudes over 85 kilometers. So we've got 250,000 people living in space stations and 11.4 billion people on the surface. We're 1 AU, 1 astronomical unit away from the sun. We have 1 Earth year of orbital rotation. Our day length is 23.9 Earth hours. Atmospheric pressure is 1 Earth atmospheres. Surface temperature, 23 degrees Celsius. It seems very general. And we have 6,300, and we have a 6,378 kilometer radius. Lovely. Good to know. We've got Mercury. A handful of solar power stations exist on the peaks of eternal light at the north and south poles of Mercury. The difficulties imposed by the planet's proximity to the sun and high orbital velocity have limited development. 340 people live on Mercury. It has an orbital distance of 39 AU. It has an orbital period of 88 Earth days and 58.7 Earth days for length. It has trace atmospheric pressure, and it has an uncomfortably warm 430 degrees Celsius. Lovely. And we have Venus. This is the planet I actually want to talk about here. So with its molten temperature, sulfuric acid clouds, and crushing carbon dioxide atmosphere, Venus has only a handful of aerostat research outposts with a population of 800. It has an orbital period of 224.7 Earth days, and a day length of 243 Earth days. So a day on Venus is longer than a year on Venus. Fascinating. We have Mars here. 3.4 million people. Established 2103, capital Lowell City. Once considered a prospect for terraforming colonization, the discovery of faster-than-light travel turned Mars into a quiet backwater. Its southern pole is a historical preserve centered on the Prothean ruins found there. Immigration and development are restricted as the search for Prothean artifacts continues. Lovely. Let's see, is there anything in the asteroid belt here? Can I see Ceres? Can I see Ganymede? Anything good here? We have Jupiter. Deep gravity well and lethal radiation have kept its moons from being significantly exploited. The largest outpost is Binary Helix Corporation's Nautilus facility attached to the underside of Europa's ice sheet. 9,100 across all the moons. Lovely. We have Saturn here. Saturn has been a major source of helium-3 for fusion plants since the 2150s. The moon of Titan is mined for hydrocarbons and used as a hostile environment training facility for Alliance Marines. With population from the orbital stations and Titan going up to 117,000 people, and Huyon's Dome here for the capital. Lovely. We have Uranus. After the development of Mass Effect FTL drive, distant Uranus was the target of a land rush to exploit its combination of plentiful helium-3 fuel and shallow, for gas giant, gravity well. Today, Uranus is the largest producer of HE3 in Alliance space, with 371,000 people on board Sakharov's station. Or perhaps there's more stations, I don't know. Though Neptune, like Uranus, has plentiful helium, its remoteness made it an unpromising target for mining before development of Mass Effect Drive. With Uranus cheaper to exploit, it has never seen extensive development. The only permanent human presence is a small research facility on Triton with 70 people. Lovely. And then we have one more, because this game came out in 2007, baby! Pluto is one of Sol's numerous ice dwarf worlds. It is mainly of note for being the gravitational anchor for the Prothean mass relay to Arcturus. Pluto and the Charon relay, formerly encased in ice and considered a moon, orbit each other. Pluto's orbit was circularized in 2157 as a side effect of the Charon mass relay discovery operations, with 9,300 people at the gateway stations. Lovely. So you will know, Pluto is not considered to be a planet. It is considered to be a dwarf planet, which is a slightly different classification. And the reason why it was reclassified is because our understanding of what made a planet was wrong, and we corrected that over time, and as such we offered corrections to the general public. This is a very common thing in science, are corrections, right? So, a great example of this is with medical science and bloodletting. specifically the use of leeches, right? In the past, before we had good medicine, we used to do bloodletting for a number of health problems, right? As we started developing modern medicine, bloodletting became less and less common to the point it basically disappeared. As we have developed modern medicine, though, we found uses for bloodletting, namely when we reattach limbs, blood can pool in them. So, and this is keeping in mind that this is dead blood, right? It's not doing anyone any good. So, we now use medical leeches to pull out the blood from reattached limbs and various other procedures, right? Same with maggots. We used to use maggots a lot. We stopped using maggots. We brought maggots back to deal with things like gangrenous or dead or necrotic tissue, right? An early source of helium-3, Luna is now mined from materials used in space habitat construction. 24 major stations have been constructed at Earth's L4 and L5 Lagrange points, all from lunar resources. Lovely. Colony founded 2069, 4.1 million people on the moon, and the capital is Armstrong. Let's go ahead and land, shall we? Okay. Let's go ahead and bring a heavy tech presence here. Here we go. Let's see. We have Luna, the Earth's surface. Lovely. Let me just hop over real quick. And then in probably the next episode, we're going to do a whole heck of a lot of cleanup from Pharaohs there. So we do have something here, we've got something roughly here, and then we have something here, so we're going to start here and just sort of go in a circle, right? Okay, let's spin this thing right back around. And then let's just sort of go up these lunar cliffs here. Why am I seeing that? Hey, game. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. The moon's gravity isn't that bad. There we go. Oh yeah, there we go. Hey, lovely. We just disabled the Alliance training turret. Okay. I believe if I remember correctly, the moon is also used for hostile environment training with the Alliance. So I am trying to remember where I read that. It might have been in Revelation. Really trying to remember. I have nothing, I'm gonna be honest. Where did I read that? I vaguely remember reading that. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and hit here, shall we? I'm also trying to remember where the, because I believe that you can find the lunar lander. So I am trying to remember where you can find that. I don't know if it's been moved or if it's a different lander that you can find. Sorry about that. I want you to note the trio of these here. This is probably going to be the hardest mission we do. I just flat out, this is probably the hardest mission we do in the game. It gets easier from here. Okay, lovely. CCCP Luna 23. Lovely. We have snowblind rounds, which are the next step up from cryo rounds, and then we have sledgehammer rounds. Marvelous. I want to say the lander is somewhere around here too, but I don't know where. Is that? That is nothing. Let me double check here. Because we've got something kind of marked over here, which I would certainly love to. Alright, well, since we're not immediately under attack, I think we could afford to repair the Mako. Which, by the way, I now have a ton of Omni Gel for. So, should be fine, should be good. Yeah, let me see, is this... what is... I vaguely remember there being a lander here somewhere, and I don't know where. Alright, hold on. I'm gonna look it up proper. Okay. I am genuinely trying to remember. Okay. I would have thought you would have been able to find a lander here, just as... I know that would have made sense. One minor update. You can see, I just gotta pull over here. and get a better view of Earth. So, sort of in this center area here of California should be San Francisco. Sort of coastal wise. We've got LA, and then down to Baja, we've got and then yeah. Oh. Okay, hold on. Double checking some information here. This appears to be Mare Christum, which is super neat. Let me go ahead and just sort of go and deal with the what the Alliance wants me to deal with. But yes, very, very cool stuff here. Now, I vaguely remember that this was reversed for some reason in the original version, so certainly something to think about. These are going to get progressively more difficult as we go through them. So we're going to drop a hard save here. I'm going to go into my squad here. And Tally has 8 whole points we could use. Hello, finally! We can get her Advanced Marksman, we can get her Carnage, that would be hilarious. We'll do that, and then we'll get her moving towards... I'll tell you what, we'll pick up Hacking, and if I don't think it's funny enough, we simply won't use it. Lovely. I would like to get you to 130 at the very least. Caden, I would like to start working you towards Advanced Lift. There we go. And then it should be sooner or later it swaps to 1. Okay, let me see, what do we want here? We do not want polonium rounds. Toxic rounds do actually affect. Okay. Give you a combat sensor, and then we'll give you a kinetic stabilizer just because we have a ton of them. We have the Razor, which I don't want. Let's give you a combat scanner. Okay, and then let's actually give you some tungsten rounds. Do I not have tungsten rounds in a better configuration here? I do. Okay, lovely. So we've got shredder rounds in you, lovely. We've got combat scanners, and then nobody else needs combat scanners. So we are absolutely free to just go ahead and, yeah. I've got kinetic stabilizers here. We've got a whole bunch of kinetic stabilizers, so we might as well throw those on. Alright. Okay. Caden, would you like a kinetic stabilizer? What am I talking about? Of course Caden wants a kinetic stabilizer. Should have sorted this out beforehand. Let's see. Now, we've also got a rail extension for you. Then we could give you cryo rounds. Which I just think would be neat. So why don't we give you cryo rounds, and then why don't we give you... Why don't we give you cryo rounds? And then a He Who Funny kinetic stabilizer. Yeah, sure. Should be good, right? Right, so we've got family armor, find Dr. Salion, samples, the Matano system, and the Maroon Sea. And then Vostok system, Rogue VI. Lovely. Actually, let me go ahead and read that. A Rogue VI has taken over an Alliance training ground located on, or that would be where I read that. Alliance Command needs you to eliminate the VI. Lovely. And I want you to note this, okay? I know it's been a lot of, oh, I should note X, Y, or Z, right? Let's see, do we want to start out with overloading a power junction? Okay, can you see that? Do you see that? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and swap out our grenade here for fusion explosives, high explosives. There we go. That didn't do terribly much damage now, did it? And this is part of why this is one of the harder ones here. Do you have shield boost? Dude, how do you not have shield boost? Go ahead and pop the barrier at the very least. Okay. Hey, Caden, go ahead and overload, please. Okay. Go ahead and sabotage, please. Okay. And they just start getting harder from here, right? They will continue to get harder, and they will continue to get, more complicated. For right now, it's just drones, right? Which I vaguely don't remember show up in Mass Effect 3 for some reason. I kind of don't understand that, because it seems like these drones are super useful. And, like, wouldn't you want these drones? In fact, I think they only show up in one instance outside of this game, which is just wild to me. Okay, let's see here. We have VI conduits. Toxic gas is being vented into the bunkers. So each one of these is going to get a little bit more difficult, like I said. So I'm gonna stand close for this one here. You'll see it has poisoned me. Lovely. Okay. So if I'm not careful, I get poisoned. Excellent shooting on my part, right? Hayden's been poisoned, just briefly. Okay. The lights on the optical mainframe flicker and die. The first of 3 computing clusters containing the VI is offline. So, expect it to get more difficult from here on out. There's not really a whole lot of loot in here, so we'll just move on to the next one. Ah, I see, I did miss a I did miss a locker, though. Well, we did get a razor. Oh, God. Just thinking about Commander Shepard with corporate sponsorships. Medical exoskeletons. That's what we're looking for, baby. Hello. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Alrighty, Caden, can I give you better armor? Oh, yeah, I can. Let's go ahead and give you a medical exoskeleton. Lovely, and a medical exoskeleton. Marvelous. Delightful. I love the prominent wind in the vacuum of the moon. Fascinating. Alright, well. Okay. Hold on just a moment. Let me go ahead and drop a save here. Whoopsie daisy. Yeah, howling winds howling, huh? Bet you Geralt would have a field day in here. Lovely, we have Guardian 8 and Naginata 8 and Nexus 7, it looks like. Actually, hold on. Caden. Guardian 8, what does that do for you? Ooh, no, that's actually bad. That's terrible comparatively. Like, good shield, but terrible, terrible trade-off. Ah, Kovalyov. Let me see what that does. Oh, yes, okay. That should be a semi-auto rifle, right? Let me see. Oh no! Hello! Oh, that's so much better. Alright, yeah, sure. Why not, right? Okay, let's go ahead and pull out the Firestorm here. Actually, I think that's got our Shredder rounds in it. So that we can get ourselves a Master Ninja. I really wish you would stop moving. Let's just pop a shield boost. I'm gonna die! No. Where's quit switching my stuff up? Okay, shield boost, please. Thank you. Okay. Let's go ahead and hit these with sabotage. Much easier to kill things when they're not able to fight back, right? Let's go ahead and hit this with overload. And then if you could just hit it with sabotage. Okay, well, that didn't trigger. That is unfortunate, to say the least. Lovely. We still have this one over here. Let me have you go ahead and pop your barrier here. And then, let's see, we could warp it, I think. And I really need to get using warp more, just because it's kind of a useful thing to have and use. Okay. Door control. Do. Let's go ahead and... Kinetic barrier fields powering up throughout the bunker complex. So that is, and I will show this off here. We circle around here. That is in addition to gas. So very, very easy to get poisoned. Very, very easy to, very, very, very easy to get gassed or to, get cracked, right? Okay, lovely. Oh. Still got a data port here. Which just gave everybody but me a level up. You may be wondering, why are you saving your level ups? The second of 3 computing clusters is offline. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do, do-do-do. Yeah, I am adoring Lift this way. Let's go ahead and get you to Master Throw. I think that would be hilarious. And yeah, okay, let's get you to Master First Aid. Interesting. I would have thought you would have had shield boost, but whatever. It's like, wow, she has a lot of skill points you could be using. Yes, she does. It's like, did you want to maybe give a reason why you were avoiding them, or... Oh, yeah, oh, I love that that's fallen down. That's fascinating. No, not particularly. I don't want to give a reason why I'm not using my skill points here. Let me exit the building. Okay, let's see, where is the Mako? Because this will just kind of give me a better idea of which one of these I've already done. Which I believe is, I guess, this one is my last here. Have I done this? Ah, okay, I have not. Because I cannot save here. So again, we're going to drop a save here, just because that's kind of important. Equipment, we'll take all of that. Sure, that's great, that's fantastic. I love that. Okay. So we've got some power junctions here, we've got a secure storage locker here, right? That is unfair. Oh, and then we got the Punisher. You know, something... A heavy sniper rifle, high accuracy, lovely. God. Oh god, do you see these little... Let's go ahead and hit them with Sabotage and Overload. Which is a hilarious combo to hit them with. I adore how they, like, cuddled up against the door, right? Again, we're gonna get you! Meang! We got you! Alright, I'm just gonna drop a little save here. Just the littlest one, right? Additional security drones powering up. Lovely. We should probably go... Ow! You rat! Okay, well, at the very least, we got the one with the rocket. Jeez. Ow! See, that's 2. That's 3. That's 4. I just poisoned myself. Ow, my bones. Oh, we got some pulse rifles. Now those are actually quite good. So a recovered Geth weapon. These exotic weapons are very accurate and feature a ramping rate of fire. And that is entirely true. They do not, unfortunately, they do not take mods. So I will show this off just briefly here. Right? And it's honestly, like, it's not a terrible rifle, right? If I had the right build for rifles, they'd be great, right? But I don't. A burst of white noise over all frequencies nearly deafens you. Your heart suit's heads-up display interprets it into a series of zeros and ones. Repeat again, blanketing all frequencies. They repeat again and again, blanketing all frequencies until the lights on the final VI cluster flicker and die. Give me a moment here. This is a binary. Now, I don't read binary, but this reads help. So it's begging for help. Your specialization class will replace your base class and talents on the squad screen. Talent ranks in your base class transfer over to your specialization class. Go to your squad screen to view the bonuses you gain with each rank in your specialization class. Shock Trooper or Nemesis. Ooh, immunity or barrier ability improves the adrenaline ability. Or Nemesis. I like Shock Trooper, I'm gonna be honest. Warp and Lift, I don't know that I use Warp enough to justify it being increased. I really like the barrier ability. So yes, we will go Shock Trooper there. Okay. So now we have an entire rank of all of this, right? I can do adrenaline, I can do barrier, and there we go. This is what I've been waiting to dump my points into. So the next 3 levels are going to cover this. Excellent. Very, very excellent, though. At least until we get to Barrier Specialist, and then the last few levels are going to go into Charm, just because that's who I am. That's how I run my my character here. I do really like that. That's a fun piece of equipment. It is, however, not the greatest when it comes to, we've got the Thunder here, Semi-Auto, we've got the Tsunami here, 5-round burst, very, very accurate. The Kovalyov here, which is a heavy assault rifle, which I actually really kind of like. Yeah, we've got the Banshee here. I would be willing to swap for the, we do have the Breaker here. Ah, yes. Okay, lovely. Let's actually, yeah, let's go for the Kovalyov here. So once again, we'll equip it with our polonium rounds, just because that's hilarious. We'll give it, oh, frictionless materials. That's actually really, really good. We have scram rails here. We'll go to combat scanner here. And then if we need heat damping, what weapon do we need? Yeah, we'll give it a kinetic coil here. That feels fantastic to me. I'm just issuing orders as I leave, just like, go here, go there. Like, Commander, we're already moving to leave. We don't need to be told that. Okay, lovely. Okay, marvelous. I think we could afford to go to the... We did unlock the Maroon Sea with the Caspian, Matano, and Vostok systems. And I believe that we have some cleanup there that we need to do. Yeah, the MSV Cornucopia here. Well, obviously, the Cornucopia is not broadcasting any distress call. We've got Klatonka, heavy metal, so we've got iridium here. Wonder if that's enough. We have Ferniri here, heavy metals, lovely. Okay, got Antietam here. Scans of Antietam revealed a group of defunct turrets orbiting the planet. The recon team carefully retrieved one of the turrets and brought it on board. Tally dismantled the weapon, found it was marked with a Carthan outpost insignia. Lovely. Elmer Crux. Okay. Let's go ahead and check our journal here. Oh, so we only need heavy metals now. Lovely. We have almost all of these, right? Got 3 ID tags. Lovely. So we are almost done with all of this. So, because this has been a very specific part, we're going to end this with some codex entries, and then we're going to call it a part here.
Faster ship mobility dominates space combat. The primary objective is to align the mass accelerator along the bow with the opposing vessel's broadside. Battles typically play out as artillery duels, fought at ranges measured in thousands of kilometers, though assaults through defended mass relays often occur at knife fight ranges, as close as a few dozen kilometers. Most ship-to-ship engagements are skirmishes between patrol vessels of cruiser weight and below, with dreadnoughts and carriers only deployed in full-scale fleet actions. Battles in open space are short and often inconclusive, as the weaker opponent typically disengages. Once a ship enters FTL flight, the combat is effectively over. There are no sensors capable of tracking them or weapons capable of damaging them. The only way to guarantee an enemy will stand and fight is to attack a location they have a vested interest in, such as a settled world or a strategically important mass relay.
Excuse me?
Vermeer is a lush world located on the frontier of the Attican Traverse. Its vast seas and orbital position on the inner life zone have created a wide equatorial band of humid, tropical terrain. Only the political instability of the region has impeded efforts at colonization. Many times the Citadel has opened negotiations to settle Vermeer with various criminal gangs and petty dictatorships in the nearby Terminus systems. All fell apart due to internal power shifts within the opposing parties. The Citadel has written off the colonization of Vermeer as impossible without significant political change. The Terminus powers themselves are unlikely to ever settle Vermeer. Most lack the resources to support settlement of a virgin world, finding it more expedient to steal from their neighbors than build for themselves. The home world and capital of humanity is entering a new golden age. The resource wealth of a dozen settled colonies and 100 industrial outposts flows back to Earth, fueling great works of industry, commerce, and art. The great cities are greening as arcology skyscrapers and telecommuting allow more efficient use of land. Earth is still divided among nation-states, though all are affiliated beneath the overarching banner of the Systems Alliance. While every human enjoys a longer and better life than ever, the gap between rich and poor widens daily. Advanced nations have eliminated most genetic disease and pollution. Less fortunate regions have not progressed beyond 20th century technology and are often smog-choked, overpopulated slums. Sea levels have risen 2 meters in the last 200 years, and violent weather is common due to environmental damage inflicted during the late 21st century. The past few decades, however, have seen significant improvement due to recent technological advances.
Okay, lovely. So, we have secondary here. We have council races here. We have Turian biology. The Turian homeworld Palaven has a metal-poor core, generating a weak magnetic field, allowing more solar radiation into the atmosphere. To deal with this, most forms of life on Palaven evolve some form of metallic exoskeleton to protect themselves. Their reflective plate-like skin makes Turians less susceptible to long-term, low-level radiation exposure. But they do not possess any sort of natural armor. A Turian's thick skin does not stop projectiles and directed energy bolts. Although life on Palaven is carbon-based and oxygen-breathing, it is built on dextroamino acids. This places the Turian in a distinct minority on the galactic stage. The Quarians are the only other known sapient dextroprotein race. The food of humans, Asari or Solarians, who evolved in levo-amino acid-based biospheres, will at best pass through Turian systems without providing any nutrition. At worst, it will trigger an allergic reaction that can be fatal if not immediately treated. Solarian intelligence field agents are grouped into an organization called the Special Tasks Group. STG operators work in independent cells performing dangerous missions such as counterterrorism, infiltration, reconnaissance, assassination, and sabotage. The STG is a proactive organization, puncturing worrisome trends before they become movements. At any time, a dozen groups are operating covertly within the lawless Terminus system, sowing dissent among the various factions. Civilian analysts also note how troublesome hinge point individuals in Terminus frequently meet unexpected deaths. STG operators are feared throughout the galaxy for their clear-eyed, remorseless practicality. They're willing to do whatever it takes to achieve their mission, even if it kills civilians or results in the team's own destruction. In many ways, they are akin to the Council's specters. Recently, a number of STG cells have been redeployed from Solarian Union. It is assumed they are in the Terminus and Attican Traverse, investigating reports of Geth activity beyond the Perseus Veil. The Asari military resembles a collection of tribal warrior bands with no national structure. Each community organizes its own unit as the locals see fit and elect a leader to command them. Units from those populous cities are large and well-equipped, while those from farm villages may only be a few women with small arms. There is no uniform, everyone wears what they like. The Asari military is not an irregular militia, however. Those who serve are full-time professionals. The average Asari huntress is in the maiden stage of her life and has devoted 20 to 30 years to studying martial arts. Asari choose to be warriors at a young age, and their education from that point is dedicated to sharpening the mind and body for that sole purpose. When they retire, they possess an alarming proficiency for killing. Huntresses fight individually or in pairs, depending on the tactics preferred in their town. One-on-one, the Huntress is practically unbeatable, possessing profound tactical insight, hunter's eye, and a dancer's grace and alacrity. Biotics are common enough that some capabilities are a requirement to be trained as a Huntress. Lack of biotic talent excludes a young Asari from military service. Well fluid and mobile, Asari can't stand up in a firestorm the way a Krogan, Turian, or human could. Since their units are small and typically lack heavy armor and support weapons, they're almost incapable of fighting a conventional war, particularly one of a defensive nature. So Asari units typically undertake special operations missions. Like an army of ninja, they are adept at ambush, infiltration, and assassination, demoralizing and defeating their enemies through intense, focused guerrilla strikes. As a popular Turian saying puts it, the Asari are the finest warriors in the galaxy. Fortunately, there are not many of them. Excuse me, pardon me, just trying to catch my breath here. Once again, I am suffering from some form of illness right now. That has me significantly short of breath and making it difficult to sort of function here. The pantheistic mainstream Asari religion is Siari, which translates roughly as all is one. The faithful agree on certain core truths. The universe is a consciousness, every life within it is an aspect of the greater whole, and the death is a merging of one's spiritual energy back into the greater universal consciousness. Siaris don't believe in reincarnation. They believe that spiritual energy returned to the universal consciousness upon death will eventually be used to fill new mortal vessels. Siari became popular after the Asari left their homeworld and discovered their ability to meld with nearly any form of life. This ability is seen as proof that all life is fundamentally similar. Siari priestess see their role as promoting unity between the disparate shards of the universe's awareness. Before the rise of Siari pantheism, Asari religions were as diverse as their political opinions. The strongest survivor of those days is the monotheistic religion worshipping the goddess of fame. Like the Asari, the goddess cycles through the triple aspects of maiden, matron, and matriarch. And lovely. We have the Mars Ruin here. After 20 years of manned research outposts and nearly a century of robotic exploration, the European Space Agency's Lowell City became the first permanent settlement on Mars in 2103. Within a decade, the United States and China had founded permanent settlements as well. The South Polar region of Promethei Planum developed a Bermuda Triangle reputation. Satellites detected intermittent mass concentrations and magnetic field shifts. In 2148, prospectors working near Desiato crater discovered an underground complex, a Prothean observation post. The odd phenomena were generated by the operation and discharge of a mass effect core struggling to function despite 50 millennia of neglect. Earth was electrified by the news. Humanity was unequivocally not alone. While courts battled over who owned the ruins, the international scientific community coordinated a massive effort to access, translate, and interpret the databanks recovered from the facility. The facility proved to be a biosciences observation post when Homo sapiens were first evolving on Earth. While the motives of the Protheans are not certain, translated records indicate that the facility was in regular communication with automated observation platforms in Earth orbit and on the lunar near side. The half-dozen Mass Effect spaceships found in the facility were presumably used for first-hand observation. So, if you remember that orb we found, that's what that was referring to. The Prothean beacon downloaded its knowledge into Lieutenant Commander Shepard on Eden Prime, causing confusing dreams and visions. While the imagery is becoming clearer with time, the meaning of the beacon communication remains elusive. It has been suggested that Prothean data recording is highly dependent on a certain point of view, what Carl Jung described as the collective unconscious. The cipher needed to comprehend images. The images implanted in Shepard's mind is the cultural knowledge of Prothean. The archetypes of biological instincts and common experiences universal to the race. Since the Protheans have been dead for millennia, it may be impossible to acquire this cipher. Lovely, so we should be relatively complete unless we find another long-dead race or something. That would be ridiculous. God forbid, right? That would be bizarre here.